Hi. So today I just kind of wanted to talk about things that was on my mind, um, and I guess just leave a record for myself in the future. Um, I guess the thing that's on my mind right now is in regards to like keeping, or not keeping too, but creating relationships within the office in the first place. Um, you know, as I'm learning about the company more and more, and I'm only at the surface level, and talking with people too, I slowly realize just how you know difficult of a situation uh, we're in. Um, a lot of it has to do with COVID, so many companies are struggling right now, and also just the industry is a really difficult one in this current situation. And so, you know, anything could happen in the future. Anything. I mean, but the goal of a company and the owner of a company, I think, is to make sure that the company survives and continues to be sustainable. Ideally, like, I want to you know, make sure that we keep, everyone working and whatnot. But I guess the reality is if you don't even have a company to keep people in, you can't keep everyone. And it just kind of makes it difficult when, if there's a situation in which the company's struggling, and even the people within the company realize this, and it's difficult. It's hard. I think people. There's a difference between maybe there isn't a difference. When a company is trying to survive, they'll have to cut things, whether it's payroll or infrastructure, machinery, utility. I don't know. Worst case, people to stay afloat. And I think to some extent people can understand that. I mean, there's also other situations where company cut things to make a profit, especially because what's driving it is creating a profit for its shareholders. But, you know, in this case, I feel like it's not about making profit for shareholders per se, because, it's a private company. Although then you could argue, shareholders could include the employees. But so I don't know. I guess just like the reality of if there is a situation in the future where people needs to get cut, like, I mean, it's difficult, and that's what you get for that's responsibly you get for being an owner. You can't just enjoy the highs. You got to experience and face the lows and make the difficult choices. And when one has to make a difficult choice, you could argue that it's the fault of the owner for for getting to that situation, whether it's allowing things to slide or for for not having the skills or the leadership to avoid the situation that you ended up in the first place. So in that sense, like, my goal right now is to make sure that we never get to a situation where I need to make a hard decision and act upon it myself. You know, I think that's something I'm going to have to experience one way or another, and I wouldn't ever want to have anyone else do it on my behalf. But that just makes it scary, and so that just kind of makes me scared of creating relationships in the first place. But then again, that's, I guess you could argue, a selfish fear, because I'm avoiding relationship so that if I run into a situation where, because of my incapable leadership, I have to make a difficult choice, I want to make it easier on myself to make those choices. So, in other words, the fact that I'm contemplating to what extent I should be, creating relationships in the first place is because I'm scared of hurting it or hurting myself by breaking it. So that's me running away from my responsibilities, which isn't good either. So I guess I kind of came to some conclusion where I shouldn't fear creating relationships solely for the fact that I'm going to break it in the future, because firstly, if I break it in the future, it's my fault and my responsibility. And, tiptoeing around that kind of situation is just as cowardly as, anything else, I guess. So, yeah, I guess I shouldn't fear creating relationships, and I should just work my ass off and keep moving forward so that I never have to get to a situation where I have to make hard choices that could have been avoided. And life isn't easy, and of course I'm gonna face those things no matter what. So yeah, I guess I just gotta keep working on making myself better and work on making the people around me better so that we could work together on avoiding and those situations. I mean, I'm not trying to bring in other people either to kind of spread out the responsibility, but so that I don't feel as bad or anything. But I think it is my responsibility to optimize the chance of reducing those kinds of risks. And I think I need to also gain the trust, and then after that gain the support of people to help me avoid those risks, I guess. And to gain trust, I need to create relationship too. So yeah, for now I think I'm just gonna work on just communicating and talking with more different people and creating more relationships. Yeah. Good chat. Don't forget this future me. And yeah. thanks for watching my rambling. For anyone watching, see ya.